Last time, we found the party in Baldur's Gate, where they are beginning their adventure. We led off with an ominous message of sorts of two figures who are undead. We don't know exactly who they are yet, but they will find out soon. There's a quest in which the party is going to be going on. They need to go to Candlekeep and speak to an archmage there. There's also a little something with Nimue. She saw a former self in the tavern. Not sure what's going on with that yet, but eventually we'll figure that out. Sinead and Krigga joined the party with Marzander after they had a run-in with the spirit who did not want to be sent to the next plane where their god resides. They're going to have to figure out what's going on with that. Along their journey to Candlekeep, where they are meeting this archmage, and into some wolves. Nimue almost died, but she's fine. And they stayed at an inn for the evening. And while there, a Githyanki was trying to arrest Marzander for unknown reasons at this moment. I think that's where we ended too.
I think she just didn't like my boots.
Awesome.
Right. I think that was everything.
Perfect. Right out the gate, me and Bones start off with advantages. Thank you so much, Rishi.
I'm making a spreadsheet for it.
That's what I just did.
Okay, any questions so far? Did I miss anything?
No. Are we just now waking up at the inn we stayed in?
Yes,
okay.
That is correct. All right, so you wake up to the smell of warm porridge, which is being made by forget her name already.
Rosie. It's Rosie.
Made by Rosie. She's making warm porridge for each of you. You did sleep on the floor of the tavern. This isn't some 5-star hotel, unfortunately. There's only sleeping room on the floor.
I thought I was the only one on the floor.
Nope.
No, we're all on the floor. We have don't we have animal skin rugs that we're sleeping on?
Yes,
exactly. Oh, that's right.
I'm curled up at Mars's feet, like a fucking puppy. Probably more like a cat. I'm definitely a cat. I'm aloof and definitely evil.
And creepy. So yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I would imagine that Sinead would be up bright and early, just out there doing some prayers.
I would also probably be up also.
I feel like as Mars wakes up, Nimue follows very quickly. She can smell when he's awake, and her eyes just kind of pop open. I am going to approach Rosie And I'm assuming she's at the bar.
Yeah, she's at the bar. She's over the pot, making your porridge.
Okay, she's gonna kind of sidle up to her, and is my outfit ready? I believe you cleaned it for me?
Oh, yes. It is hanging up outside. I could go grab it for you.
No worries. I think I can manage.
The porridge is ready if you want some.
Of course. I'm sure we would all like a little. She's just kind of like shuffles outside to go find her clothing.
Mars would probably walk up to the bar and under his breath say, "Thank you." And then I'll probably grab mine and Nimwe's porridge and probably bring it over to a table or something.
Krigga will also walk up to the bar, grab a bowl of porridge, but he will stand there and he will eat it so fast that you can't even believe it, and put the bowl back down. Thank you, lass, thank you. And then he'll go sit on the floor against a wall and start doing repair work on his gear.
Sinead will eat. She'll sort of take a bowl and walk over to Mars, and as he's like obviously has a spot for Nimue, she's gonna look to him and say, "Well, since we're all friends, can I sit with you?"
He'll look up at you with like an unfamiliarity. I don't see why not. And he'll gesture his hand to his open seat.
Right, lovely, thank you. Well, since we are friends and since I am sitting with you, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Why was that woman looking for you yesterday, Mars?
I'm not quite sure why.
Well, why didn't you just tell her who you are? Why weren't you honest?
Because I didn't want to leave Nimue and you guys if she decided to take me away.
I see. But how did you know she would take you away?
Well, if somebody's looking for me, it would probably be not for a good reason.
Why?
I've done some shady things in my past that I do not wish to talk about.
She's gonna point her spoon at you like a dagger, and she'll say, "You're not a necromancer, are you? We don't take kindly to those types."
No, I'm not.
Are you sure? You wouldn't lie to me now, would you? I'll know.
I would not lie about that, no.
As Sinead is doing this, Nimue is coming back in with her outfit, her robes back on, and they're all clean. And she joins the pair and sits down and looks across the table to Sinead and says, "Don't worry. Mars isn't a big fan of playing with dead things. We're not those kind of people."
She sort of, settles a little, and knits her brows together, and she says, "All right, good. That's an abomination, It's wrong. Once the dead are dead, they must stay dead." And she has a lot of conviction in her voice about this. Like this is very important to her.
I understand your concern. And I agree.
Right. Very well then. She'll start eating.
I'll also start eating now that Nimue's over here and sitting.
She's just kind of like taking her spoon and like pushing the porridge around in the bowl. I do hope it's not too much further to Candlekeep.
Sinead will look over to Krigga and ask, well, is it?
Should not be too much further. We'll get there when we get there. No need to be all bothered about when. It'll happen when it happens.
Well, I'll be honest. This walking through the woods business seems a little bit unnerving, considering we faced wolves yesterday. What else could be out there?
Everything, lassie. Everything. This is the world. Enjoy it.
Doesn't seem quite enjoyable to me if there's wolves.
Krigga literally scoffs and just shakes his head and just mutters wolves.
What is Rosie doing right now? Is she close enough that she can hear us?
The room isn't that large, so unless you're whispering, it's pretty easy to hear.
Okay. Rosie?
Coming! Rosie walks over to the party.
Do you know how much further it is to Candlekeep?
I would say it's another day, maybe less. You would get there by the nightfall at least.
And out there, in the woods, do you know what other things we could find? We've already found ourselves a pack of wolves. As you could see by my robe, it wasn't a very pleasant interaction.
Garrett and Ayla, make sure we stay safe, at least near the tavern. I'm sure that nothing will be harming you.
Welcome in, Lord Gazumba. Hello, Raiders. Good to see everybody. We are just starting out on our game this evening. So glad you guys could join us. It is episode 2 of Dragonfire and Cormyr. If you were a part of our session last 2 weeks ago, oh my god. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 weeks. You will know that we all spent the evening in a tavern, and we are currently waking up, having a little bit of breakfast, and getting ready to set out on our way to Candlekeep.
I will clarify that you guys are staying on the outskirts of the forest. You're not actually in it.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, if you're going to be leaving for Candlekeep, you better get going. You have a long journey ahead.
Yes, I believe we do. And I would hate for us to get caught in the woods in the dark again. She kind of looks around to everybody at the table. Are we ready?
Yeah, Sinead's she'll sort of finish her porridge up and then push the bowl aside and say, right, let's go then.
Nimue also just kind of drops her spoon in the bowl that she didn't touch and stands up. Come on, Mars. It's time to adventure.
I'll stop eating and then stand up and I go to grab Nimwe's hand.
She takes it. It's almost like it's second nature to her.
All while doing this the whole time in the building, because
We're in the tiniest building ever.
Yes. The building was made for halflings, not large people.
Krigga will motion Sinead over. Come help me with this gear for a moment, lass.
She sort of groans at this. She kind of like hangs her head back and rolls her eyes and all right. And she'll walk over to him.
Krigga's just going to have her just do a couple of random things until both the other people leave the inn. And then as soon as they leave, which I'm assuming they would, he's just going to tell Sinead, those were really excellent questions, lassie, that you asked Z. Good work. Those are excellent. Keep that up and maybe we will find something out.
I just don't understand why he'd lie. I don't understand what he's hiding.
It is a conundrum. I did not know him well, but did not get the sensation that he was untruthful in general, but people change. It is good to learn what is going on if there is something. That is one of the most important things you can learn. Things are rarely as they seem. And the more knowledge that you have, the better the chance that we can keep the drawbridge alive.
I suppose you're right. It makes me uneasy.
Indeed. Stay uneasy and stay vigilant and keep asking questions. Let us go.
Right. And she'll make like a little about face and make her way out the door.
And Krigga will literally chuckle at that and follow.
Okay, you step outside and find clear skies and warm weather. As you make your way along the road, you notice a hulking figure shambling towards you. Its elongated body is twisted and gnarled. Its face is obscured by massive breathing tentacles. Its large stitches connects its limbs to its body. Has one body. As it approaches, you see several small wriggling forms attached to its arms and legs. These creatures move with a frenzied energy and dart and leap towards you with sharp, deadly claws. The hulking figure lets out a low guttural growl, and you can feel a psychic energy emanating from its body, threatening to overwhelm your senses. So these creatures are coming straight for you.
Nimue instantly steps behind Mars.
As she does that, I'm gonna pull out my rapier and just get ready for. And with the other hand, I'll I don't know what words are. I'll keep Nimue help her behind me and kind of hold her for a second.
Krigga will absolutely just step forward a couple paces and then stop.
Duro, before we actually enter combat, am I able to do a cantrip? It's a buff cantrip on Nimue.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Sinead will step right behind Nimue and touch her on the back and cast resistance.
Okay.
You get
Just a baby.
Yeah, you get D4. To any saving throws
Yay!
of your choice.
For 1 minute, it's active.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let me see. So once you guys roll initiative. Are you able to roll initiative from where you are? Yeah, you should be able to. Just push the initiative button on your character sheet. Yeah. And then I'll adjust it if it doesn't show up on my thing. I was able to get the initiative checker down.
I don't remember what I rolled now.
That's fine. I see it.
Oh yeah, I need to. There we go. Cool.
I'm 2 for 2 on initiative rolls in this game. I don't even know what to do right now.
Oh.
Are you so excited?
I just can't even begin to talk about it.
You can roll initiative. You can hit.
If I could sing, I'd break into It's a Brand New World.
I love this for you.
Okay, so to set the scene, there are 4 crawling hands making their way towards the party, while the I would say Mind Flayer abomination is towards the back.
Not sus at all.
So yeah, so essentially this is a Mind Flayer, but it doesn't have a Mind Flayer body. It just has its head.
Don't love that.
Mm-mm.
Like floating?
No, it has a body. It's like a skeleton. It's like a zombie body, but
okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
with the head of a Mind Flayer. Okay, so one of these crawling hands is going to lash out at Krigga. Okay, so it's going to slam onto Krigga, onto your, say, onto your leg and bruises it pretty badly. You'll take 4 damage.
Roger.
Now it is your turn.
You muted?
Oh, I'm going to smack it back. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You smashed it. Using a hammer, right? Yeah. So you'll just
Pulverize it?
Yeah, you pulverize it like a bug.
He made me mad. Nobody bruises Krigga.
A second one will lash out at Marzander. It does not hit you.
Too spooky.
Krigga and the DM both get an advantage, so Dur, you have 2 advantages now.
Okay, nice.
Thank you, Savage Baron. And welcome in.
It is now Sinead's turn.
And the one that is attacking Mars is within 60 feet of her, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and cast Sacred Flame. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
The DC of 13.
It makes its saving throw.
Well, that's it. That's all I've got.
So Marzander's turn. You have 3 hands in front of you.
Nice. I'm just going to just hit one. Whatever one's closest to me.
Okay. You're going to hit it. You're going to hit, we'll say the one that was striking at you before.
9 dodge.
All right, you pierce it. It Stops moving. All right. Now it is the Mind Flayer Abomination's turn. It will unleash a blast of psychic energy towards Marzander and Krigga. I need you to make a DC 13 intelligence saving throw.
I can use advantage on this, right? Somebody got me one?
Yeah, you have one.
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Oh, didn't mean to click that twice. There you go.
You're able to resist the mind blast of the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
It is now Nimwe's turn.
Nimue is going to peek out from behind Mars, and as she does, you see that same inky black smoke kind of coming out of her cowl and starting to slowly engulf her. And she's going to point her finger at one of the hands and cast Eldritch Blast as like a streak of electric energy erupts from her fingers. That is a 16 on the dice.
Okay, you strike the hand.
For 10 damage.
All right. That will be sufficient to destroy the hand.
That is my turn.
Okay. The last living hand will strike at Krigga. Oh, geez. All right. Slams against you again. Krigga.
Roger that.
For 3 damage. It is back to you, Krigga.
How far away is this monstrosity from me?
It is 30 feet away from you.
Well, that sucks. I will smack the hand that just hit me.
Okay. Once again, you smash it into the ground.
And then I'm going to start running at the abomination, but I won't get there. And then bonus action, I'm going to use Second Wind.
Okay. That regains some hit points.
Yeah, my macro didn't work. I'll roll it manually here.
It is Sinead's turn.
I'm going to try Sacred Flame again at the abomination.
Okay.
Please fail.
Dex save.
Yep, DC 13.
Rolled a 2.
Thank you. Thank you for failing. I appreciate you a whole lot. I'm just going to roll it here. Oh, no. I'll roll it. We'll die. That's an 8 on the die.
Okay.
No modifiers.
Big damage.
It
It is Marsander's turn. There are no hands alive. It's just the abomination that's left.
And he's 30 feet away?
Yes.
Would it be an action to put my rapier away and pull out my short bow?
What'd you say? Sorry?
Would it be an action to put away my rapier and pull out my short bow?
You get a free item interaction, so you can Pull it out. It's fine.
All right. I'll go ahead and shoot it with my short bow. I'm going to hope that hits. 23.
Okay, nice. We'll be hitting it.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to roll. That one. 6 points.
Nice job. All right, it is the Abomination's turn. He will slam against Krigga. Krigga raises a shield and blocks the strike. It is Nimwe's turn.
Again, she's gonna peek out from behind Marzander and look to the Abomination and outstretch her hand to point her finger and cast Eldritch Blast one more time. And that's a 21. 7 damage.
Okay, nice job. It is back to Krigga.
Oh, Craig is just gonna swing as hard as he can. He's mad now. How's that?
Nice job. You can hit it. This guy has no armor at all, so he's rather easy to hit. Ooh, 13. Nice job.
That'll be my turn.
It's Sinead's turn.
Sinead wants to whack this thing. She's gonna move. It's 30 feet away from her.
Yes.
She's gonna make her move full movement rate.
Okay.
And she's gonna pull out her mace and whack. It's a 10.
That'll hit it.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's 3.
You strike it on its head, and as the body of the Abomination slumps to the ground, you notice its tentacled face contorting with strange energy. Suddenly, with a sickening crack, its head detaches from its body, and the creature's tentacles writhe and lash out in all directions. The head remains suspended in air, its eyes still glinting with malevolent intelligence. The body now lifeless and limp slumps to the ground. You begin to hear a voice penetrating your mind. This body is imperfect. Further testing is required. I will return in time. And with a flash, it disappears.
Does everybody hear that voice?
Yeah, I was just about to ask
Yes,
that.
everyone hears it.
Sinead will look at Krigga with sort of a look of bewilderment on her face and anger. And she says to him, whatever that was wrong.
It was very wrong, but well struck, lassie, well struck. He is literally beaming with pride that you struck the last blow.
I'll also walk up to both of them and good hit.
Good hit means nothing if it's coming back. Whatever it is.
Well, we got rid of it for now, at least. I'll be ready for it again next time.
Krigga looks at Sinead. One of the things they taught you, remember, in our quest to rid the world of this undeath, what can be killed once can be killed again, and if need be, again and again and again.
Are the hands still there? Sort of just
Yes,
lifeless?
they're still there.
Yeah. She'll look back at those and then at the party and then back at Krigga and say, that leaves me with more question than I want. Whatever that thing is needs to die again sooner rather than later, and preferably just the one more time.
Agreed.
Out of the party, was it just Krigga who took damage?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
He
actually hit?
missed me. Or one of the hands missed me.
She'll ask the party, do you mind if I just take a few moments to tend to Krigga?
Do whatever you need to.
She's going to ritually cast Healing Word on him. And this is at first level, so it is a D4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which is, what is that, charisma, Duro?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, so D4 plus 5. Do you want me to roll it, or do you want Krigga to roll it?
You roll it because you're casting it.
Okay. Oh, it's a 4, so 9.
Zing.
Metal dice, baby.
Thank you, Lassie. Those bruises were annoying.
All right. Well, should we go then?
Indeed.
While everyone's kind of chatting and Sinead is healing Krigga, Nimue is kind of gonna wander off to the edge of the road, and she looks up into the trees and she whistles, and from the trees a great raven flies, and it comes over and just kind of sits on her shoulder and pecks at her hair a bit, and she giggles. Hello, Merlin. I missed you. Did you miss me? And it kind of like makes a little cooing sound at her. Do you think that maybe you could scout ahead a bit for us? I think we could use it. Wouldn't you say? And the bird kind of like bobs its head and then flies ahead down the road. And she returns to the party.
I was wondering if you forgot about that bird.
I haven't forgotten about him. I've just been waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, Krigga will just raise an eyebrow at that exchange.
She's just like oblivious, like nothing happened. This is totally normal.
Yeah, to be fair, Krigga would probably have seen something like that before. He just did not expect it here.
I would say Mars is probably used to this. You've seen Merlin a few times now.
Sinead's, she's curious. She's not going to let that go.
Of course not.
Is that your bird?
It is. He's my friend.
Your friend?
Yes, my friend.
Do you talk to the bird?
Of course. Don't you talk to your friends?
Well, I suppose so. You lot are sort of my first friends, so I guess this is a new experience for me.
Maybe you could make a friend with a bird sometime, too.
Maybe. Does the bird talk back to you?
I can hear him.
How?
We have a special connection.
She's gonna look at Krigga for reassurance, like, what the hell is this?
Krigga just mumbles under his breath to you. Probably one of those kind of mumbles where he's trying to hide what he's saying, but not really all that hard. Like he doesn't give a shit if anybody else, but he's just gonna say, well, you know, people have special connections. I have special connections with birds. It's called dinner.
She'll sort of like give a lopsided grin at this response and then look back at Nimue and give a nod and say, right, well, I hope your friend has good sights.
Don't worry. You'll scout ahead for us. We'll be able to see the danger before it comes.
And how's that?
It's a special little trick we do.
Perhaps call me ignorant, but I don't quite understand, but I'll leave you to that matter. And she'll sort of wait for Krigga to get up and for everybody to start moving along again.
Yeah, Krigga's moving around fine now. He's ready to go.
Okay. As night approaches, you arrive at Candlekeep, where you see a towering structure surrounded by walls and guarded by watchtowers. The gate leading into the library is heavily fortified, with guards standing at attention and scrutinizing all who approach. Standing before Candlekeep is an imposing figure, standing over 6 feet tall with piercing blue eyes and long silver hair. She is dressed in a flowing blue robe adorned with intricate silver embroidery, and she carries a staff topped with a crystal orb that glows with a soft, magical light. This is likely the wizard which you have been looking for.
Mars, I think that's her.
I would believe so, yes.
Nimue is going to approach the woman. I believe we've been sent here to speak with you.
You must be friends of Eustace. He told me of your arrival. I am Elenara, an archmage of Candlekeep.
Hello, my name is Nimue, and this is my friend Mars. And these are our new friends, Sinead and Krigga. We have heard that you may require our assistance.
Yes, and I'll keep it simple. Thalglor, the purple dragon, has returned. He died over 400 years ago, but his spirit lived on, waiting to return. And that is why I need your help. A Cormyrian lord by the name of Asmura has asked for my assistance in the matter. Elenara pulls a small box from her pouch. This is the Soulrender's amulet. It is sufficient to hold a spirit powerful, such as Thalglor. Bring it to Lord Asmura in Evening Star. I suspect she will have assistance required further once you arrive.
How does a dragon come back once it's died? Do you know?
Through powerful magic, necromancy.
She's gonna kind of like look to Sinead and then back to the woman.
Just as wizards can become liches, dragons can return in the same way as Draco liches.
Does it become more powerful when it returns this way?
Of course. Dragons are magical creatures. They gain further magical abilities when they return as Dracoliches.
And you are to send us to Cormyr, yes? To meet with this person?
Yes, Lord Asmura. She is the Lord of the Evening Star, a town in Cormyr.
I see. Well, it sounds like we shouldn't waste our time. She's gonna hold her hands out for the amulet.
She passes you the amulet.
Nimue kind of looks it over and then secures it in her robe. I will make sure she receives this. How shall we travel to Cormyr?
I can arrange further travel arrangements. I have arranged for you to stay here in Candlekeep as my guests.
And how long will it take us to get to Cormyr?
I suspect at least a week.
She's gonna look back to Sinead. I do think you'll like their library here. It is quite extensive from what I've been told. So much more reading for you to do, Sinead.
What you see on Sinead's face is another look at that knitted brow expression that she gives, where she gets that little worry line. She is thinking of necromancers at the moment, but the promise of a library full of books and a place for her to kind of hide for at least a short time, it seems obviously very enticing to her. Her eyes kind of light up, and she sort of looks away and finds herself lost in thought, and then looks back to Nimue and says, I'd be greatly pleased with that. There's much reading to be done, much knowledge to obtain.
Yes, I believe so. She's gonna look back to the mage. While we're here, could you direct us where we could perhaps read about Cormyr and the Purple Dragon? Perhaps prepare ourselves for this adventure?
Of course, I will show you to where you'll be staying.
Nimue is going to give her like a short bow.
Before we start walking that direction, Krigga is going to just touch Ned on the arm. He's recognized the look on her face when library was mentioned. From long experience, he knows what that means for her. And now she has a tendency to get lost, distracted there. Schned, this has the feeling and the sensation to me that this issue could perhaps be why Niven sent us here or pushed us in this direction. Do your research, do your study, but remain receptive for further instruction or acknowledgement. Any help or guidance from the drawbridge would be very beneficial.
It's partly my purpose of wanting to go to this library. If I can read more and perhaps strengthen the bond.
Good, very good.
I will be there to help you as well.
She seems uneasy about this. But she's very polite, as always, and she smiles, and it's a genuine smile, you know. She's not unkind by any stretch, and nods a few times and says, right? I haven't had company in a library before.
Hey, Duro.
Yes.
So I've known Sinead a long time, obviously, since my character's raised her, but I haven't seen her out in the world, so I'm not really sure how some of her reactions out here would translate to what I'm used to. I'd like to roll an insight check against her to see if I would recognize her unease at being alone in the library with Nimue.
That's fine.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just going to depend upon whether I keep her company in there or don't worry about it.
Let me see. Would this be something that Sinead would be hiding?
She'd be trying to hide it from Nimue, if that answers your question.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a deception roll.
Yeah. I'll just roll.
Just
here.
like a kid, always trying to deceive their parents.
I think you got it.
Never a doubt.
It's not good. It's bad. I would say it's bad. Should have rolled my own dice. They never fail me.
Ooh.
So yes, you understand what she is, at least, understand that what her feelings are right now.
Yeah. So Krigga is just going to mention to her as well that, I have not been in a library in a long time. It might behoove me to maybe absorb something extra there as well. Perhaps I will keep you company there.
She's gonna look at Krigga with that look of just like, Dad,
Yep.
you're embarrassing me.
That's exactly right. And that's exactly the vibe that Krigga is trying to give off with that, for sure.
No, in all seriousness, she will look at him and sort of fold in on herself and says, all right, if you think so.
As we're walking to where we're going, I'm gonna try to scope out the area. Is there any buildings or anything that looks like points of interests?
Not on the outside, at least. It's a very fortified location, and there's no exterior buildings. Everything's behind a large wall.
All right.
Okay, so we'll head in. As you pass through the gate, you find yourselves in a large courtyard filled with gardens, fountains, and scholars going about their business. The main building of the library raises up before you. Its multiple levels filled with shelves upon shelves of books, manuscripts, and scrolls. You can see the scholars and sages poring over ancient tomes, discussing theories and ideas, and scribbling notes in their journals. The air is thick with the scent of old parchment and ink, and the sounds of quiet conversation and occasional rustle of papers fills your ears. You can sense the weight of history and knowledge that surrounds you, and feel a sense of awe and reverence for the vast stores of learning that resides within these walls. Eleanor brings you to her quarters. As you enter the Archmage's quarters, you're struck by the opulence and grandeur of the space. The walls are lined with bookshelves containing countless volumes on all manner of magical subjects. The Archmage's desk is elaborately carved and adorned with all manner of writing implements, from quills and ink blots to wax seals and parchments. As you move further into the room, you see a comfortable seating area, completely with plush chairs and sofas and low tables filled with books and manuscripts. It is not much, but you're free to stay here for the time being. There are also quarters provided by the administration of Candlekeep that you are welcome to. While you're here, be sure to visit the Grand Library. There is more knowledge here within those books than anywhere in the world.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Of course, you're doing me a service.
Duro, I would say it's safe to assume that Sinead has never really experienced this level of architecture and brilliance around her.
Correct. Yeah, nothing like this at Baldur's Gate or Skullcrag.
Her mouth is like hung open, just her jaw just completely unhinged, and her eyes are kind of sort of darting everywhere. And she looks to Krigga and says, the books? How many books do you think there will be? How many books do you think there are?
More than we could get through in a lifetime.
That seems like a challenge there, Krigga.
Indeed. Go to it.
She looks to Nimue as if to say, oh, are you coming? Are we going? Are we reading together?
Of course. Let's go.
And she'll sort of scurry very excitedly. She's very, like kid in a candy shop right now.
As you enter the Candlekeep Grand Library, you are struck by the sheer scale and grandeur of the space. The library stretches out before you with multiple levels of shelves filled with books, manuscripts, and scrolls. On the faces of the stone walls, there are large runes glowing with magical energy. You are greeted by a high elf with a regal and graceful bearing. She stands tall with a lean, toned physique that speaks to her disciplined training as a monk. Her long hair is a deep shade of auburn, pulled back in a practical braid, and her skin is fair and unblemished. She wears a loose-fitted robe of deep blue, belted at the waist with a simple sash. Her feet are bare, allowing her to move with grace and agility. Good evening, good sirs and good ladies. I'm Kella, keeper of the library. You are free to read any book as you wish. Thieving, damaging, or copying any content is forbidden.
Somebody dared to do such a thing? It seems like a crime.
It is a crime within Candlekeep, yes. Which is why I ensure that everyone is aware of the rules.
Well, you'll have no trouble from us. I can assure that. I will ensure that.
As you walk about the library, you see scholars and sages bustle about, their noses buried in books as they seek answers to the most profound questions of magic, history, and the universe itself. There is one part of the library you notice that is out of the ordinary. Among the scholars, there are several. Let's see, I messed up my notes here.
Happens to the best of us.
Behind a large metal gate is a sectioned off portion of the library. Above it is a large eye which looks downward towards the entrance. Above the gate are words written carefully in the stone archway. Herein lies knowledge too dangerous to be shared. Only those who possess the wisdom to wield it may enter, and only with the utmost caution and care.
as we're making our way through the library, Nimue is kind of just like absent-mindedly scratching her raven, Merlin, his like little breast on her shoulder. He had returned to her once they reached their destination, and he just kind of lives there hanging out with her. Did the monk come with us, or did she just kind of like let us go in?
She let you go in. She's just there to make sure that you're aware of the rules and know that she's there if you need anything.
Well,
Perhaps we should ask the elf where we could find books on Cormyr and the Purple Dragon.
Sinead will nod and say, "I'll ask. I'll certainly ask."
Of course.
And Sinead will scurry over to do so.
As you make your way back over to speak with Kella, the keeper of the library, Sinead, you accidentally bump into one of the scholars.
Classic. Classic Sinead.
The scholar turns around and you see that they have a tattoo on their forehead of a large eye, which appears to be looking down, which is exactly the same symbol which you saw above the forbidden section of the library.
Oh man, Sinead does not have any inhibition at all. She sort of blinks up, and it's a man.
Yes.
Is he handsome?
God.
Does Sinead like men with forehead tattoos?
She doesn't know yet.
Oh no.
Well, is he good looking? Like,
yeah, sure. Let's
aside
say
from
he
that.
is.
okay.
Yes.
Whew. All right. So she's just going to stare up at him blankly for a moment, unblinking, sort of wide-eyed, and very nervously begins to apologize to him. Forgive me. I wasn't looking where I was going. I just saw the books. It's very exciting. What's that on your forehead? Do you know about the drawbridge?
The man looks at you with a confused look on his face. I am a keeper.
A keeper of what?
Forbidden knowledge.
She sort of looks down and she'll look back up and again. What sort of forbidden knowledge? I know a lot of things.
Things you won't want to comprehend.
Who's to say that? You don't know me.
As your conversation continues, you feel a hand on your shoulder as a young, let's see. A young human woman has placed her hand on your shoulder, and she says, "Excuse my friend, she's new here. I'll show her the way around. We won't bother you any further."
I didn't think I was being quite a bother. I don't know you. I just wanted to know what he knows. I'm a cleric after all. I'm quite a studious one, I'll have you know. I'd like to know exactly what he's talking about and what that eye means. Didn't I see that over there? And she points to the forbidden section.
The young woman pulls you away from the man. She, you see, she is a young woman with long curly red hair and bright green eyes, and she wears a simple robe, belted at the waist, with a cord of silver. She whispers to you, I suggest you stay away from them. Those are the followers of Ogma, the god of knowledge.
Well, do I have no news for you? I'm a follower of Kelmvor, god of death.
These are no mere followers. They are part of a fanatic sect known as the Keepers. No one knows their true purpose, but from the looks of their tattoos, they deal with forbidden knowledge.
I got that much. I just wanted to know what the forbidden knowledge was. Or if I could know it.
You don't want to know what they know.
Well, why not? Maybe it'll help me in my quest to kill all the necromancers.
You'll want to trust me on this.
Well, I don't rightly know you. But I suppose. Now, who are you? Why'd you pull me away like that? You could have at least have said so.
I'm Athelia. I'm a wizard apprentice here.
Well, I suppose it's a pleasure to meet you, I think. I'm Sinead. I'm a cleric. She's so eager. She wants to make so many friends.
I love her so much.
We don't get many clerics here.
Yeah, I'll really turn things upside down on you. I'm an ASMR as well.
I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting an ASMR.
Well, now you have.
Are you here alone?
No, I've got new friends now. And Krigga. I don't think you know him.
I don't believe so.
Nimwe's gonna step out from behind Sinead. She's just kind of been lurking this whole time, like, listening to everything. Hello, I'm Nimue. What was your name?
I'm Althea, a wizard apprentice here.
I'm one of Sinead's friends. Do you think that you could tell us where we could find books on Cormyr and the Purple Dragon?
Of course, I've studied them for quite a while.
Wonderful. Do you think we should be researching, Sinead?
Yeah, well, I was going to do that. And then I bumped into that man. And he looked a bit odd.
The man with the tattoo on his face.
Right. And she sort of like gets this like look because she thinks he's cute. The man with the tattoo on his face, right. But then he said he had forbidden knowledge. And then I was trying to get the forbidden knowledge. But then she pulled me away and told me I shouldn't have the forbidden knowledge. So now we're here. Also, with the purple dragons, are you able to tell me anything about Dracoliches?
I'm afraid that is within the realm of forbidden knowledge.
See, if you hadn't just pulled me away, I could have known about this. We could be done with all this, Nimue. I could have a solution, but here we are.
Well, perhaps after we've done a bit of research, we could find the man with the tattoo on his head and ask him again.
Right. Sounds like a plan. Let's get to it then.
I agree. Please do show us where we could find the books we seek.
Of course. And if it's finding the man again, I know where they meet at night.
Where they meet? Wow. And she like kind of side-eyes Sinead.
Sinead is just wide-eyed and very excited. And just like, yeah.
I am sure we would like this information as well.
Yes, they meet in the catacombs underneath the city. It is not well known, but being a young wizard myself, I like to travel around the city, finding the secrets which it holds.
I do think that I would like to see these catacombs. Wouldn't you, Sinead?
Sinead's nodding. Right? Yes. It's a good place to make sure that the dead stay dead. And hints of men with tattoos on their faces are spoken to.
Yes, of course. Let us find our books. And perhaps you could speak to us, Ophelia, on what you know of Cormyr, since you have studied it before. And then maybe later you could take us to the catacombs. Would you like to be our friend?
I would prefer acquaintances to start.
Very well. This poor NPC is stuck between like eager neurosis and then just like psychosis.
We're doing great.
Nailed it.
I like this idea that Nimue is a bad influence on Sinead. I like this so much.
Nimue's gonna turn, and I assume Mars probably followed her in here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I probably found like a shadowy spot to stand close. And then as soon as Ophelia says acquaintances, I'll like kind of step out of the shadows behind Nimue.
Mars, how about
Yes?
you and Krigga go find our sleeping quarters for the night?
I'll get right on that.
That would be very nice of you. It would be nice to know that we have somewhere comfortable to sleep and not a floor like the previous evening.
Krigga speaks up. Z, I'll leave that up to you, lad. There's a book I wish to look at here.
All right.
You're gonna get that same like, you're embarrassing me. Look.
Yeah, Krigga's just going to give you, Sinead, just a dead, flat stare.
Krigga, wouldn't you think that it's a good idea to help Mars?
I think my book's over down this row, and Krigga turns around and walks off down a row. And he's going to go out of sight to you guys, but he's really going to double back and just kind of keep his eyeball on Sinead from really long distance.
Looming.
He won't be close enough to hear anything, but he'll just he is nervous.
That's
I'm
okay. Some people like to read. I assume Mars probably doesn't feel very comfortable around all these books. Do you, Mars?
No, I'm not much of a reader.
Very well. I imagine they have a kitchen here as well. Perhaps you could acquire yourself a meal. Make yourself comfortable, and we'll come find you tonight. I won't be gone very long, I promise.
All right. I will try to make myself at home. And I will turn to Ophelia and ask if there are any, or where. We already have quarters, right?
So you're able to stay with the Archmage, Ilinara.
And
But
did
she doesn't have like a like an actual arrangement. She has like if you want to sleep on her sofa or something. But there are like rooms in Candlekeep you can just stay at.
All right, I'll ask Thelia if there's any cheap places to stay, preferably with tall ceilings.
In Candlekeep, you do not pay for sleeping quarters. The administration provides those free for anyone who stays here. I can show you to where those are.
I would appreciate that.
Okay, so Althea is going to show Marzander where to sleep, while you three just kind of wander around, I guess. So Althea brings you to the sleeping quarters, which are constructed of a rough-hewn stone with walls and floors that help keep the rooms cool and damp, preserving the valuable tomes within the library. Each of you will have your own cell, furnished with a bed, a small writing desk, and a chair.
All right. Before she takes me to the rooms, I'm going to ask Nimue if she wants me to take anything to the rooms for her.
No. Perhaps Merlin could come with you, though? And she, looks up to the bird. Merlin, why don't you stay with Mars for a bit? I'm sure he would like your company. And the bird's gonna just, fly over to your shoulder and land.
I'll reach up and scratch the chest a bit and then head off.
Definitely can't see that through that bird's eyes at all times. Nope.
Nope.
No.
No, why would that? That doesn't even make sense.
I'm always watching, Wazowski.
Oh, no.
Bird needs to be served up with a sauce, I'm telling you.
Oh, no, he's my baby. I don't think it works like that either. I think you'd be really disappointed trying to kill him.
Okay, so Althea shows Sinead and Nimue around the library, where she begins plucking out different books on Cormyr. One on history, one on royalty, government, trade, geography, laws, just about a little bit of everything, navy, that sort of thing, so, considering they're on the coast of a large lake. Now, as for the forbidden knowledge of Dracoliches, that will be harder to acquire, unfortunately, considering it is hidden behind a large gate.
Well, what do you think the likelihood of convincing those fellows with the tattoos, if we meet them after dark, to let us in or to get us the information that we need?
I am not sure, but they may be receptive. We will just have to travel in the catacombs under the city.
Unbothered by that. Nimue doesn't seem bothered by it either. As long as you're not bothered by it.
Well, I am studying wizardry, and a wizard must study all aspects.
Right. Where do we meet then to travel to these catacombs under the city?
We will have to go after dark when the city sleeps. When they live.
Strange creatures they are. But I'm eager to meet them because I want this knowledge.
Perhaps we could plan to meet somewhere. Yes? Perhaps here in the library, where we already know.
Let us meet by the fountain, by the entrance.
Okay. I think we could do that. What time? Or just at dusk?
Tomorrow at dusk.
Very well, then. That will give me and Sinead plenty of time to read and begin to familiarize ourselves with Cormyr.
Okay, so you gather your books on Cormyran history and the other books, and you set them down onto a table nearby. And you begin to read and read and read.
And it's very happy to do so.
It will take you quite a while to both read it and comprehend it, but you have all the time you need while here in Candlekeep.
I'd like to say that Nimue is probably very specifically looking for lore on the purple dragon.
Okay, specifically the purple dragon.
Yeah, that's what she would be most interested in, is knowledge on the purple dragon.
Thalglor, the purple dragon. Sure, I'll tell you a bit about him. Thalglor is a black dragon in actuality, but with his age, his scales have turned purple, thus giving him the name Purple Dragon. He was the king of the Forest Country, which is what is now known as Cormyr, but he was pushed back after years of war until he was finally slain by a magically imbued sword by the name of Orbin, which tore him through. That sword now is a holy relic within Cormyr. It is used for ceremonial purposes within the High Kingdom. That's kind of a gist of it. With more reading, you can find out further knowledge, but that is the gist.
Perfect. Yeah. I was making notes to myself.
Right.
Otherwise, I'll forget.
Yeah, he died about 500 years ago. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything specific Sinead is searching for?
She's actually looking for more on the religious aspect, and if there are necromancers in Cormyr that she can vanquish.
Okay, that will require some heavy reading.
Yeah.
Which I will have to get to you next time, or
That's
between
fine.
next time.
That's fine. She's a one-track girl. She knows what she needs to do, and that's kill necromancers.
Yeah. Okay, so after hours of reading, it is now well into the night, and Nimue and Sinead decide to head back to the sleeping quarters.
Are we allowed to like take the books with us to wherever we go? They have to stay inside the library.
They have to stay,
Okay.
but I doubt anyone's going to take those books. So who would want to read about that?
Sinead. Sinead would want to read about that.
When the ladies look like they're getting ready to depart the library, Krigga will just magically happen to be ready to go too, and he'll just appear at the door at just the right time.
Has he been
Imagine that.
listening in to like our
No.
conversation about
He's
the
too far. He's too far away to hear. He just wanted to keep an eyeball on Sinead.
On his kid. Make sure she's not smoking.
So yeah, conversations he's not going to have any idea about right now.
Nimue is going to look to Sinead and say, perhaps they have a place where we can clean ourselves up before bed.
Perhaps. That'd be good.
I think so. We have traveled for a day.
I wouldn't mind a bath.
She's gonna go find the lady that was in the front that they first met, and ask her where they could go to clean themselves up.
You mean Kella, the keeper of the library?
Yeah.
Kella informs you that they have communal bathing areas that you are welcome to. They're the where you'll be staying.
Come on, Sinead. Let's go get cleaned up.
Sinead will. Krigga's standing there, kind of like waiting for them, I'm assuming. So she'll look to Krigga and say, I'm going to go with Nimue to go clean up, right? You don't need to go there.
No, I'll see you at the rooms.
I'll see you then. And she'll look to Nimue and then sort of give a singular nod and say, right, let's go.
While they're like in the bathroom, Nimue is gonna say to Sinead, I don't think that Krigga is going to let you go to the catacomb alone with me. I feel like perhaps he was watching us in the library, unless he's a reader.
Well, he did spend a lot of time in the temple. I'll handle Krigga.
He seems very close to you. He
Oh.
likes to watch you.
He raised me.
This is good. It's always nice to have someone to take care of you.
Yeah, well, he's done an all right job, I think.
It seems so.
But I'll handle him. Don't you worry.
Okay. I won't.
Hey, Baffin.
Baffin. Scrubbing. This is
Just
quite the
scrub.
opposite from your last character.
She bathed eventually. This is growth. Oh my god.
I assume after we finish, we would go to the rooms.
Yeah.
Do we have like multiple rooms, or how does that situation look?
There's multiple rooms. It's designed for one person for each cell, I guess.
Wow, that sounds grim.
It's very basic. It might as well be a cell.
Where is Mars right now, Rad?
I was thinking about this the whole time. So he'd probably be laying on one of the beds, and he has like a little thing, and he's kind of tossing it and watching Merlin go pick it up.
He's playing fetch with my bird.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love this for them.
But as soon as he sees or hears people walking, like you guys walking up, he'll pocket the thing and kind of like sit up on the bed.
As they're going to their respective rooms, Nimue is going to turn to Sinead and give her like a little nod. I hope you sleep well. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Nimue.
Good night, friend.
Oh, that like elates her to be called friend like that. And she sort of steps away with a little bounce in her step to go find Krigga.
Nimue is going to go into the room that Mars is in. Hello, Mars. Did you miss me?
Always.
What
And
were
you'll
you
see.
doing?
I was just preparing stuff, and you see the extra like pillow from one of the other rooms already on the bed. Because obviously we've been traveling together for a bit, so I would know that you would want to curl up on the end of the bed.
Like a fucking weird cat. I see you've taken good care of Merlin. Thank you.
Of course.
I'm quite tired. We have a long day tomorrow.
We sure do. You should rest.
She's gonna curl into her spot. And Merlin's gonna kind of like cuddle in underneath of her chin. And she's gonna like clutch him and fall asleep. Just like cross chest.
I will then crawl into bed.
All right. Sinead, you wanted to speak with Krigga, is that right?
Yeah, she was just mostly just gonna go tell him good night.
Okay.
And she'll just like kind of like poke her little head in his cell.
That seems right. Somehow.
Says, I've made it back. Safe and sound.
Never a doubt, lassie. Good night.
Krigga,
Hmm.
I know you didn't mean anything by it. But she sort of like gets nervous to talk and says, sometimes I'd like to try things on my own, if that's all right.
It's but one of many reasons you are traveling the world at this time.
So it wouldn't hurt your feelings if I wanted to explore a little bit by myself.
Feelings hurt my feelings. No, my feelings would not be hurt. Everyone must go on their own at some point. Simply stay focused and remember your priorities.
Right. Well, I figure I say something because tomorrow night I'd like to go for a walk around Candlekeep with Nimue. She and I would like to sort of just taken the place. It's beautiful and it's nice to have a friend this is no offense to you, Krigga, but who's another woman.
It's one of the many things you must learn while you are out. So Krigga, during his not so surreptitious, probably, chaperoning earlier, didn't really notice anything that made him any more uneasy than he was, and he didn't know why he was uneasy in the first place. So he actually feels a little bit better about it. So yeah.
She'll just give a nod and say, all right, good night, see you in the morning. And she'll scurry off.
Scarlett, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody.
Okay, so you each sleep in your individual cell.
God damn it.
Nimue and Mars are the same one, but anyways, you sleep there for the night. In the morning, you find Althea, the wizard apprentice, waiting for you outside.
Who meets her first? Who's the first up? I'm assuming the old man.
Krigga doesn't necessarily get up super early all the time. If he's on the road, 100% of the time he will be up. When he's not on the road, if he's got nothing to do, not necessarily so much. So he probably is not. Shned would probably beat him up at a time like this.
Yeah. She's up.
Uppies.
Uppy.
God damn it.
That's cursed. Anyway, she would be up at a relatively butt crack of dawn, like O Dark 100, for morning prayers. And then so yeah, I would imagine she would probably be the first one to meet her.
Marzander also tends to get up pretty early.
Yeah, Krigga's got the whole soldier thing going on, so if there's a chance where he can sleep or he doesn't really think there's any need to get up, he's not gonna.
When Mars gets up, Merlin awakes and kind of pecks at Nimue's cheek to wake her up, and she very sleepy-eyed looks at him and kind of does one of these, and in her mind she's just commanding him to follow Mars, and so he kind of flutters from her and over to Mars and lands on his shoulder, and she curls back up into her bed.
Okay, so Althea would beat, I guess, Sinead and Mars at the same time. Is that correct? Yes?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. I thought I would show you to the dining hall.
I would imagine you probably hear Sinead's stomach grumbling loudly. She only had one meal yesterday. She's a 3-meal a day kind of girl. She'll nod excitedly and say, I'd like that very much.
I could go for some food and heal to Sinead after you.
Well, I thank you, Mars. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. So sort of toot along.
Althea brings you to the dining hall, where it is a very simple room. You find that they are serving soups, sandwiches, fruits, whatever, teas. The emphasis is on simple, nourishing fare that can be quickly prepared and consumed without distracting from the primary focus on study and scholarship.
It's the man with a tattoo on his forehead there.
You see 3 of them sitting at the far end of the dining hall.
Oh no.
Sinead might be naive. She's not stupid. She's not going to say anything to Mars, but she will sort of find something to eat and try and find a seat like a good distance away from them. She's not going to really wait for Mars to come sit with her. She is very curious in being seen by them, but in a non-threatening or non-nosy manner, if that makes sense. She wants to be seen in a okay, this is a familiar face of somebody who's been around way.
I will get, I guess, soup and some bread and all as I'm going to sit down next to Sinead. I'll be like feeding bread to Merlin and then sit across from you, Sinead. And I immediately start eating.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so are you saying you're trying to listen in to what they're speaking, right?
Yeah, she is trying to be as discreet as possible. I mean, I would imagine she's sitting close enough that she doesn't have to hide it too much.
So you hear them speaking amongst themselves, but you don't quite understand the language they're speaking. You could roll a history check to see if you know what they are speaking.
Yeah, I will roll that. It's an 11 plus 3, so 14 total.
You could use your advantage.
Oh, yeah. Can I go ahead and use my advantage?
Yeah.
Add +2 to that. So that's
Yeah.
you not total.
Go ahead.
Am I just adding +2 to it? Am I rolling twice?
Plus 2.
Yeah, so 16 total then.
Okay, so you recognize this language as primordial, which is the languages spoken by outer beings in the like the plane of fire, the plane of earth, plane of air, those sort of guys. So it's not something you normally hear, and it's quite unusual.
And I recognize that this is primordial. Like, I know that that's a fact.
Yes.
Okay. She's very quietly going to whisper to Mars. She will whisper in Celestial. Do you understand me?
I do not.
She will kind of curse under her breath also in Celestial and say to herself, "Oh, that's a damn shame, isn't it?" She smiles at Mars, kind of like, okay. Sort of wincing in her smile, and says, "Do you understand them?" And she says that in common as quietly as she can.
Would I know? I guess I wouldn't be able to understand them. No.
No, you wouldn't understand them.
Damn it. I was curious. I've never heard anybody speak primordial before.
And then I'll whisper back, "Are you eavesdropping on them?"
No, of course not. That'd be rude now, wouldn't it be, Mars? Do I strike you as somebody who's rude and doesn't have manners? I'll tell you.
No.
That's more of a glance at Krigga's. behavior than mine, if you think so. Since he raised me, after all.
All right, so let's see. Nimue and Krigga, are you up to anything?
Nimue is just kind of like laying around in their cell, but she's like listening in on the conversation via Merlin.
All right, I remember that.
Krigga's probably just, honestly, he's probably just going to eat a ration in his room and work on his gear a little bit this morning while he feels he has a minute.
Okay. So, is Sinead or Marzander going to do anything else with these seekers?
No, not at the moment. She does not want to be intrusive, and again, lack of inhibition. She's at least a little self-aware that she's can come across as a little strong at times. But she will make note of this language and prepare to tell that to Nimue.
Okay. So you two finish up your breakfast and head back to the other two then? I see.
Yeah. Yeah, is there anything that that Sinead can bring back to Krigga food-wise?
That's what I was just about to ask. So,
Sure. There's, I would say a broccoli soup sounds good for Krigga.
For breakfast?
Why not? These guys are weird.
Okay, sure. Okay.
What do you think about wizards would eat in the morning? What else? Broccoli soup.
Broccoli soup and stale bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll give him some bread and soup and to bring back to Krigga.
All right, so you two arrive back with the other two.
She's still convinced that she's hurt Krigga's feelings. And she'll, peek in and see if he's awake and I brought you something to eat.
Well, thank you, Lassie. Thank you.
And she'll leave that for him and then sort of go back to milling about and, praying and other weird cleric things.
yeah, I'll walk in and what I brought for Nimue, I'll sit down on if there's a table, and then I'll kind of take Merlin, like his feet or whatever, and then place him down on the bed next to her.
Yeah, she's just kind of gonna like grab the bread and pick at it and eat a couple pieces and then give some to Merlin. Did anything interesting happen at breakfast?
Mute. Not much. Just enjoyed a breakfast with Sinead. I kind of got the sense that she might have been eavesdropping on somebody, but
Oh, on who?
maybe not. There's a couple people down the table from us.
What did they look like?
You said it was like three guys with forehead tattoos, right?
Yes, forehead tattoos which resemble an eye looking down. And that was a symbol also shown on the library section of Forbidden Knowledge.
I relay that to...
Oh, I could see why she would want to listen to them. They're the men who keep the forbidden knowledge. The knowledge that we seek. They know of the Draco Lich. We're going to meet with them this evening in the catacomb.
Are you?
Yes, but you can't tell Krigga.
I will not tell.
Thank you, Mars.
Of course.
I would say you could come with us, but I'm not very worried. I could always leave Merlin with you, and he'll know if I'm in danger. He would let you know, I'm sure. Actually,
I'm okay with that.
now that I think about it, I imagine the catacombs are quite far from where we are now. I would have to take him with me, but I would send him if anything were to happen. He could lead you back to us. Would you be okay with this, Marth?
I am, yes.
I would assume then that it would be okay to tell Krigga if we were in danger, but I don't think anything will happen to us, and they have knowledge that we would like to have. You know how good I am at talking to people.
Yes.
I assume it'll be another long day in the library for me with Sinead. What will you do today?
Only time will tell.
I could
Maybe
leave Merlin with you.
Sounds fine with me. Maybe I'll see if Krigga wants to explore a bit.
That would be very nice of you. I'm gonna go find Sinead and see if she would like to continue our studies.
All right. I will go find Krigga.
I imagine Sinead is like praying in her room.
Yeah, she's she'll be in her cell, just sort of
God damn it. The cell.
the cell. She'll be on the bed with her hands clasped together, sort of with her head bowed and very quietly whispering in Celestial to Helmvor.
Would Nimue know which room she's in, Duro?
Yes.
Okay, Nimue's gonna go. She's gonna be polite and give like a little rap at the door.
It'll open. Sinead will get up easily. She's not super disturbed. This is sort of just her passing time. Idle hands and all that. But she'll get up and sort of look excitedly at Nimue. But she sort of holds it in, and she knows she wants to speak privately with her. We're going back to the library. We're going to go back with the books.
Yes. I figured I would come find you so we could continue our studies. I believe Mars is going to see if Krigga would like to do something with him today.
That's for the best. If he gets out and does some walking around.
It would be nice if they were to become friends. Mars doesn't have very many friends.
I think Krigga has a lot of friends. I don't know. I didn't spend any time outside of the temple in Skullcrag. Spent every day at the temple. Alone.
That sounds very lonely.
Oh, I had Krigga.
Nimue just kind of smiled at her. So you've never had another girlfriend?
No. There's been other priestesses at the temple. But they were more like tutors than friends, per se.
I see. Nimue's gonna like put her hand in Sinead's and say, well then, come now. Let's go read, friend.
that kind of it touches Sinead, and she'll smile broadly and begin walking with her back to the library.
I'll walk to Krigga's, I guess, cell? What do we call it? Are you busy today?
I have no plans today, laddie. How about you?
Not much. Just wondering maybe if we like to go fetch an ale or two.
That sounds delightful. A delightful way to spend the day.
Whenever you are ready, I'm ready to head out.
Yeah, Krigga's probably already walking out the door.
All right. You said I had Merlin on my shoulder right now?
Oh yeah, he's hanging out with you.
Okay.
All right, so Marzander and Krigga spend the day drinking. I understand that correctly.
Sounds
Heck
appropriate.
Yeah.
While Sinead and Nimue and Althea study at the library like nerds.
Big nerds.
It's a couple nudes.
I'm going to say something very rude after stream.
But she's going to stew on it for the rest of the time until then.
Mm-hmm. I sure am. Dura should know what's coming, but it's fine.
I'm ready. I deserve it. Okay, so the four of you spend the day doing your respective activities, learning about Cormyr and dragons, and Marzander and Krigga day drinking. It comes quicker than expected. Dusk. Althea is waiting for you by your quarters.
Is Krigga still out with Mars?
Probably not. He'll probably be back in his cell.
We're all in prison.
Yep.
No, we're back in prison.
In nerd prison.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Once Althea is there, she'll sort of poke her head in with Krigga again and say, "Right, I'm going on my walk now."
Be vigilant.
As always.
And have fun.
She sort of like slumps down a little bit and smiles at him and says, "Thanks, Krigga." And she'll go to find Nimue and Althea.
Nimue would have just been like hanging out, meandering in the hall, waiting for her.
She'll look at Nimue and say, "Right, are we ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go then."
As they're leaving, I'll tell them, be safe.
Of course. Come on, Merlin. And Merlin's gonna fly from Mars to me. And as we're walking away, she's gonna look to Sinead. Merlin will go back to Mars if anything happens to us. He'll make sure that we're safe.
She smiles at this and chuckles because she doesn't really believe that this bird sees really does anything. She just thinks he's just a bird, really. And she sort of pats her mace on her side and says, "Don't worry, Nimue. I can do a lot more than just heal and, make sure the dead stays dead."
You are quite strong.
Something like that. I've learned a lot thanks to Krigga. And really, the other priests and priestesses.
Well, it's just in case. I don't think we have anything to worry about. But you never know. It's always good to be safe.
That's true. I think we'll be all right, though. I'm excited.
To see the men with the tattoos?
Well, that and the knowledge that they keep.
I see.
And she sort of like ducks her head down a little, and as if she should feel ashamed that she like found this man attractive in any capacity whatsoever, and sort of is like twiddling her thumbs and anxious in her excitement.
Okay, Althea. Have you met up with Althea yet?
I'd say we're on our way there.
Okay. Well then, are we ready to go?
Right? More than ready.
Merlin gives a caw at her.
Now then, let's travel to the catacombs. I've only been here once, and I was too scared to stay.
Well, now
Fair
you'll
enough.
have us with you. 3 is better than 1.
As you venture to the catacombs and into the catacombs, you feel the temperature drop and the air grow damp. The rough-hewn stone walls and vaulted ceilings suggest that these tunnels were carved out centuries ago and have remained largely unchanged since. The flickering light of torches barely illuminates the shadows ahead of you. You hear the occasional sound of dripping water echoing through the tunnels, and the musky scent of damp earth and mold fills your nostrils. At the end of the long stretch, there's a single door where a light shines beneath the door. Inscribed above the door are words written in a vibrant blue. I am what the wise seek, and what the foolish fear. I am the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe and the source of all power. Speak my name, and the door shall be opened.
Welcome in, raiders. Dag, thank you so much for the raid. Pocket Dragon Pub, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, everybody. So, can you say the riddle one more time, Duro?
Yes.
Oh, you wrote it in chat. You're amazing.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I am what the wise seek, and what the foolish fear. I am the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe and the source of all power. Speak my name, and the door shall be opened.
Nimue is going to look to Althea. Do you know this riddle?
I can't say it. I suppose I do. If we want to get to that door, then we have to solve it.
Well, she kind of furrows her brows and looks to Sinead. Do you have any ideas, Sinead?
Well, sounds like the name of a god. One of the deities. Not sure which one, though. Or if it were me, I'd say Kelmvor is the one who is the source of all power. But I suppose that's just my opinion.
I would like to roll to see if I would know like a religion where like a deity would fit the like knowledge sector there.
Oh, the god of knowledge? Didn't we know this already? They're followers of whom?
I did say the name before.
Yep, you sure did.
No. I would like to roll to recall that knowledge.
Okay, go ahead.
What am I rolling for this?
Intelligence.
Just flat intelligence.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, that's 15. I would like to use my advantage and make that a 17.
Okay. You remember that the god of knowledge was named Ogma.
Ogma. Nimue just kind of thinks for a minute and then chuckles to herself and commands Merlin. And you just hear Merlin over her shoulder go, Ogma.
The door opens with a creak.
She smiles and looks to Sinead. See? He's a very special bird. Thank you, Merlin.
I also would have accepted the word knowledge.
Oh,
I was gonna say that, but I was like, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy.
I made it super easy, so you guys wouldn't be stuck on it.
Oh man, yeah, you've made some really difficult ones for us in the past that totally haven't spent like an entire episode on, or maybe two.
we don't talk of those times.
Dark
the dark
days.
times.
Dark days.
I've had one puzzle.
They'll have to dumb it down for us because he knows us too well.
Literally, remember that time we spent an entire session trying to figure out that puzzle, and I thought my hair was all gonna fall out because I was trying to rip it all out. Remember that? Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Oh,
But we're the nerds. I'm the nerd here.
no. Ooh.
All The room is small and circular with stone walls that are covered in shelves filled with ancient tomes, grimoires, and other forbidden texts. The shelves reach from the floor to the ceiling with rolling ladders that allow the scholars to access the upper shelves. The room is dimly lit by a few flickering torches and a crystal ball that glows with an eerie blue light. The air is heavy with the scent of old parchment and ink. A large table dominates the center of the room, surrounded by several high-backed chairs where the society members have gathered to discuss their latest findings. I see we have guests who wish to eat the fruit and bear its secrets. The scholar at the head of the table stands as you enter. The scholar is a half-elf man of average height and build with a lean and toned frame. He's dressed in a plain, practical robe that allows him to move comfortably and freely. Held in his right hand is a book bound with strange red leather. Heavy chains are wrapped tightly around the book and slither as if they were alive.
If you had to rate his comeliness, what would you say that is? Let's say like a scale of 1 to 20.
Yeah. They were like a stat.
Asking for my friend here.
That is a good question. I would say between 1 and 20, you say?
Yeah.
1 to 20. You can roll a 20. It's okay.
He is half elf, so I gotta say like 18.
Oh. Does he have the tattoo too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nimue is just like smirking to herself and like side-eyeing Sinead.
Sinead is visibly sweating. She is almost, I guess you could say she's almost entranced by this thought of gaining knowledge and also really good looking men. Because she's never really seen that before.
Is what you would call razzle dazzled?
Something like that. She does come, she's extremely, extremely sheltered. Her entire life has been spent around like grumpy old priests, right? And she sees these men with this knowledge, and they are hot. And she is very excited by this. And she wants to step forward.
And what is your name?
Sinead?
Well, Sinead, you've arrived at an interesting moment for us.
Why is that?
Long has the commoner been left oblivious to the secrets of the universe. We intend to rectify this transgression.
And how do you plan on doing that?
Thanks to this book I hold in my hand, we have copied thousands of texts on what the authorities of Candlekeep have deemed forbidden. Necromancy, demonology, contacting elder beings. These are but a few topics we intend to leash upon the world as Agma intended.
You want people to have the knowledge of necromancy?
Of course.
Why
Who's
is
to
that?
say they don't deserve it?
What do you think they're going to do with that information?
That is none of our business.
What is your name?
My name is Liren.
Lyrian, it is my business.
Agma sees it different.
Can I tell you something, Lyrian?
Go ahead.
Can I tell you that my purpose here on this world is to destroy the necromancers, become a doom guide, and serve my god Kelmvor in the pursuit of keeping what is dead, dead.
There are no necromancers here. We're but scholars.
Aye, you might be. But what about those who wish to perform necromancy? Now suddenly they have this information on exactly how to do it. You're giving them the blueprint. And I am here to have to vanquish them.
I'm afraid you're too late.
What have you done?
What was supposed to be already. Does Nimue want to say anything to these scholars?
She's gonna step forward next to Sinead. So, you've decided to give the gift of necromancy to the people. This seems quite strange. You wouldn't happen to have any knowledge of the things now happening in Cormyr, would you?
We, as keepers of knowledge, do not necessarily deal with outside politics. We are but keepers of knowledge found within these books.
Is the Dracolich in those books?
Of course, all forms of necromancy will be given to those who seek it.
We seek that knowledge on the Dracolich.
Then by all means, take it.
Is he offering us like the book?
He's offering you a copy of the book.
Sinead will reach out and take it.
Liren opens his leather-bound tome and plucks a large volume of papers from it and hands it to Sinead.
Have others come seeking this book that we ask you for?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Have others come seeking this book that we now ask you for?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
And would you speak their names so freely as you give this knowledge?
They did not give a name, but it was a woman with a beautiful face, but scarred on one side. Indistinguishable.
Do you know from where she came?
I do not ask such questions. I give knowledge to those who seek it.
It sounds reckless.
It is what Agma wants. Whoever seeks knowledge should be given.
How many people are in this room?
There are 3 of the, what did I call them? Scholars, 3 scholars, and you 3.
And do you know these things that you've done? That there is a Dracolich now that haunts Cormyr?
I have heard tales, but they have no concern of me.
How many
Now
of you are there?
There are but 3 keepers, though we are welcome to more.
And how does one become a keeper?
You must eat the fruit and bear its secrets.
The fruit?
The fruit of knowledge.
And do you keep this fruit here as well?
Yes. Do you wish to partake?
I have my own gods that I follow. They are not yours. We are not alike. I must say no to you. Can I tell by looking at him how powerful he might be?
He looks like a nerd.
Like a nerd?
Kind of the
He's-
word of the day.
He's not. Yeah, he is. It is. He's not like. He's just a normal guy, but he looks like a normal guy. He's just smart. He's not a wizard or anything.
All this knowledge. Do you study in the arcane? Or do you only read?
I could spend a lifetime studying the various arts. I choose to not study one subject, but many. Thus, I have not gained any arcane abilities.
And your friends? They are like you? Useless in the art of battle?
We have not needed it, as we are safe within Candlekeep.
Who keeps you safe here?
The guards, the wizards.
And do
No
they
one has-
know what you do, that you give this knowledge away so freely?
That is between us and Agma.
I see. She's gonna look to Sinead. I think it's time we leave here.
Sinead's hand has fallen to her mace, and she really wants to bash some nerd brains in for what they've done. This is like a great affront to her. And she looks at Nimue and for a moment grips the mace's hilt a little bit harder before letting it go. She's going to tuck the pages in with her vestments and nods to Nimue and says, "For the best then." And
She
she'll
look-
look.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, go ahead.
She looks back to the scholar. Do you meet here each night? In case that I were to change my mind.
We do not have a set schedule, but you will find us at the library if you wish to speak again.
I do not like to speak about such things in public. I'm sure you understand, given the business that you do down here.
If further discussions are needed, we can have it arranged.
I see. She shakes her head and looks to Sinead. I feel a terrible urge. Do you feel this urge, Sinead? And she looks down at her mace.
She's very slow to respond, but Sinead looks from her mace back up to Nimue and says, I do. However, this is not the time.
Perhaps you are correct.
I must consider, are they the necromancers or not? No, they are not. Kamvor would not forgive me for killing so indiscriminately.
Yes.
Sinead's going to look back at the scholars and sort of give them a once-over, and she looks disgusted at the sight of them. Almost as if she's just smelled something absolutely putrid. She sort of rolls her lip up in a snarl and says to them, I would pray for you. I would beg Kamvor for your forgiveness on your behalf. I would. If it had been anything else. But the information on the necromancy. I hope that you find yourself somewhere in hell. And I hope you burn eternally. And I hope that I can see to it.
That's my girl.
What strange words you have.
Strange. What's so strange of it?
We're but mere messengers. And you say such curses.
Right. You're a messenger of death, of undeath. Truly. What you spread out there is an abomination. That information is an abomination in of itself.
If you wish to eat the fruit and bear its secrets, we'll be waiting.
How about I take that fruit and shove it up your ass?
Nimwe's just like beside her, just oh.
She's like dead serious too. There is not a hint of a smile or a joy or anything that you have seen of Sinead thus far. This is a different person altogether. This is a very serious person who truly and honestly wishes to see them burning in Avernus for the rest of their days. And she'll look at Nimue and say, I'm finished here, lest I do something that is unforgivable.
Let us go then.
And she's not going to wait for Nimue or anybody. She's just going to go. She's got to get out of there before she starts swinging her mace around.
Nimue looks back at the scholar before she exits and says, it seems as though today might be your lucky day, that my friend has such great willpower. And then she turns and walks out, following Sinead.
Well, that went different than expected.
Does she say that in earshot of Sinead?
Yeah, Althea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different, perhaps, but honest. What they're doing is an affront on my god, on me, and this world that we know it. Necromancy is the greatest of all evils. Do you understand that? Do you understand what I am saying, Althea?
Of course. Through my studies, I have learned about the dangers of necromancy.
Not dangers, horrors. Terrible horrors. If I should want to become a doom guide, I will vanquish it, one by one.
We must make sure that the administration does not find these texts that you have received, though.
I will read what I can, and then I will burn them myself.
Yes.
They shall never see the light of day after we've seen them.
I feel as though what they are doing is very wrong as well. I find it strange that we shouldn't be allowed to read the texts in the library, but these scholars are so eager to give them to us there underground. What do you think of this, Ophelia?
It is the administration which sets restrictions on the materials that are available to us. I am not sure how this sect is able to gather these behind the closed doors, but it is something we may want to investigate.
I agree. I feel that perhaps there is an outside force aiding them. Something greater than them. They are only puppets.
It may be that book that he was holding.
I do not think you are wrong. Sinead, perhaps we should tell Mars and Krigga of what we found here.
She is torn very suddenly, and that like kind of crosses her face because she lied to Krigga. She sort of swallows and says, "Perhaps we just tell Mars first, and then I figure out how to tell Krigga."
I understand. Should we go to your room and read this book?
Right, we should.
Get rid of
And
it
then-
this evening.
We burn it.
I agree. I would hate for anyone else to have such knowledge.
Let us go then. I want to get rid of this thing as quickly as I can.
Yes. I will send Merlin for Mars. Mars can come, and we can explain to him what we have seen. He's not very much for reading books, but he is good in a fight.
He seems capable enough.
Let's return to your room. Ophelia, I feel as though you shouldn't say anything to anyone. Not yet, at least.
Of course, I am able to keep secrets.
Will you help us?
In discovering what is happening?
Yes.
Of course. I feel it is my duty as a scholar here in Candlekeep.
Very well, then. Perhaps tomorrow we should meet at the fountain again. In the day, maybe we could go somewhere. Figure out what we want to do. How to handle it. You guys are children. Jesus. Hey, Old World Charm, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid.
Hello, everyone.
So many raids tonight.
Okay, so Nimue and Sinead find Marzander and Krigga during their day drinking binge, which has gone well into the night.
Well, the drinks are free, right?
Yeah, everything else has been free, so why not?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, Krigga's a dwarf. He can drink for days.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do I need to make a roll to see how I'm feeling after drinking all day?
No, you can decide how what you're feeling.
I think our plan was to go back to Sinead's room to read the book. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Unless anyone else wants to do anything, we will stop there for tonight. Anyone?
No.
Nope,
Yeah.
not
Nope,
good.
I
I'm
don't have
good.
anything
I'm
else.
good.
Okay. Perfect.
Just more drinking before going to the room.